community. Yes, according to research, people who give their time by something like volunteering have lower mortality rates than those who don't. So today we're going to be talking about how important it is to help your community, but also reveal the surprising benefits to you that perhaps you weren't even aware of. My guests tonight are Jason Thompson, National President of the Round Table, who are all about making friends, having fun, learning new skills, but also getting involved in their local community. We also have Darwin Bernardo and Lawrence Cohen of the Nutmeg community, an organisation that inspires young people to form part of a new, energetic and motivated generation. And to top it all off, we also have our self-development clinic later on with Chris Brown. So if you want to get in touch at any point during the show, if you'd like to share your views or say hello to one of our guests, you can give us a call on 020-7686-6300, and you can also email Chris at chrissybshow.tv. Now let's first give you one of the benefits actually. I've told you that you can live longer if you actually give to your community, but let's give you another benefit before we introduce our next guest. Right, studies show that people who give tend to have lower rates of depression and higher rates of self-reported happiness. People are more likely to feel what's sometimes called a helper's high when they contribute to the lives of people around them. Now, they actually did a survey with people suffering from multiple sclerosis, and they were trained to make compassionate calls to other people suffering from the same thing, and the callers showed lower depression rates after a period of 6 weeks. So there you go, helping others alleviates depression as well, so that's also helping a lot of people. But first of all, to introduce the first guest, let's take a look at this video.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all? It's Christmas time, get round the table, Santa's at the door, with a bag of sweets and a bottle of sherry, give a pound to help the poor. It's Christmas time, get round the table, let's all have a ball. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Now here we are with the table chaps, collecting hard-earned cash, but do be careful playing Santa, the suit can give a rash.
Come wind and rain, hail and thunder and even freezing snow,
we'll be out there on the streets even when it's sub-zero.
It's Christmas time, get round the table, Santa's at the door, with a bag of sweets and a bottle of sherry, give a pound to help the poor. It's Christmas time, get round the table, let's all have a ball. Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
now fun and games were had by all when we built the sleigh. A dodgy amp and peeling paint is inch lifts all the way.
If Christmas tends to pass you by, remember just one thing:
this rather annoying Christmas song is all you'll ever sing. Oh,
it's Christmas time, get round the table, Santa's at the door, with a bag of sweets and a bottle of sherry, give a pound to help the poor. It's Christmas time, get round the table, let's all have a ball. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Yeah. Santa's at the door, with a bag of sweets and a bottle of sherry, give a pound to help the poor. It's Christmas time, get round the table, let's all have a ball. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Do they know it's Christmas time? Do they know it's Christmas time? Do they know it's Christmas time? Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
I love that. And we have here Jason Thompson with us. Hello, Jason.
Hiya.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Not a problem.
What was all that about? It looks like great fun.
Prime example of what Round Table's about. Guys having fun, doing something different, something they probably would never have done before.
Yeah.
and being part of round tables, giving them that opportunity, fun, fellowship, but at the back end of it they're doing fundraising, and the money that's going to raise will obviously go back into their community, and that's Plymouth Round Table and the local football club as well.
You guys look so happy and
it's
really
just,
nice.
It's just brilliant. It's that emphasises what Round Table's about for me. Just the guys getting together and making a difference.
Tell us about how it started and everything, because it's not a recent thing, is it? It's been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, even though I don't look it, we've been going 85 years. So yeah, we just celebrated 85 years of the association. It actually started in Norwich back in 1927. And it's been going on for a very, very long time.
Do you know what the idea behind it was at the time?
There's lots of different aspects to it. One of the main aspects for it, from my point of view now, is about the fun and fellowship. It's networking, it's socialising, it's out there doing stuff that you would not normally do, and bringing yourself together with a bunch of guys and really are out there doing something in your communities, but having fun, having experiences you wouldn't normally get. Unless you go and do it with a bunch of guys, jumping out of a plane, for instance.
Have you done that?
I'm doing it 5 times actually for my charity this year.
You've done it, or you're doing it?
I'm going to be doing it next year 5 times for the charity, plus London Marathon. So it's life ideas that I've always wanted to do, and now it's an opportunity for me to do it. So.
Plus raise funds at the same time.
Raise a lot of funds and awareness.
I think we've got a photo. Oh no, we don't have a picture. That'll be later.
Okay.
So tell us how you yourself got involved, because you were doing something else before, weren't you?
I was a farmer in my community for many years, and one of the aspects for me, I did a lot of work with the youth service and youth projects with the fire brigade, and on the back end of that I started mixing in with what the Round Table were doing with the firework displays, the carnival that we put on every 3 years, just helping behind the scenes. And as time went on, I just like, do you know what, that's what I want to do. And now I'm.
But why? Because
there.
like fireman, you're also helping your community. You're also, like, it's a great job as well, isn't it?
It's a different aspect though. You know, you're out there obviously because of incidents that occur in that, plus obviously doing fire prevention, safety in the homes and everything. Yeah. This is a totally other aspect of it, because it's just bringing in social fun and bringing yourself together with your community even more. And we literally do bring the whole community in. So we do fireworks. Round Table is one of the biggest firework organisers, if you like, across the country, and we bring lots of communities together. And over the whole country, we probably bring 500,000 people in with all the different firework displays up and down the country. So it's things like that we do in the community. We do a lot of work with children in need. We do a lot of work with other organisations. We support and help local charities as well as national charities as well.
Okay, there's one of the pictures there. Why are you
there
dressed
you go,
up like that?
Do you know what?
That's
Liverpool Street, and a lot of people walk through Liverpool Street, so you want to stand out. And these guys are from Kent area, London. No, they're all. So across the country, Round Table in one day, we raised about £130,000 just in the one day, collecting airports, train stations, Sainsbury's. Area 14, which is Nottingham area, they put a bed push on from the BBC studio bed push from the BBC studio, 14 miles to the airport, and they made a lot of traffic jams. So they made a lot on the radio, a massive PR on the radio. Even Tom joined in. Tom showed all the traffic jams, and it was there was the bed in the middle of it all. So it's just amazing things that we do in the community, trying to bring everyone together.
How do you actually choose which? Oh, is that what are you doing there?
That's a bed race. That's a bed race, a competition in a market square in Saffron Walden.
People just think you're loopy.
But the community, again, they come out and
they love it.
It's something that we brought back 2 years ago and we hadn't done for a long, long time as part of our carnival. And again, it's just bringing the communities in, bringing the community together and having some fun. And if we have fun, then we love doing it. You could be really tired at the end of it, but you walk away going, do you know what? Absolutely love doing that. Brilliant fun, and we'll do it again next year. How do you go about choosing which charities to raise money for? Quite often what it is, most of the clubs will do fundraising obviously in their own communities, and then they allow the communities to approach and say, please apply for the funds that we've raised. And there's lots of different ways. One table decided to put on a Dragon's Den type of event, so the people were coming in and had to say why they were chatting. But you guys tough? Oh, really, really tough. They had a chief exec there as well, and she's a tough cookie. But ultimately, what it's about is life skills, because suddenly these people are coming in, and then in some respects are being interviewed. They may never have experienced that before. So it's about life skills for them, as well as the tablers that are putting that event on and asking the questions. So there's the core messages about Round Table. It's not just fun and fellowship. There's life skills. There's everything that we do.
Can you talk us through? So I think we'll have another couple of photos, don't we? Can we just see those as well? And you can talk us through.
Yeah. So that's the bed race again. That's the end. So you had you had the fire service there. Some of the guys from my old station. This one, this was the past national president there and the board.
See, everyone gets involved, I see.
Oh, we all get involved. We're raising funds there for one of our core charities, which is Round Table Children's Wish. And basically there is, it was the board dash. And a lot of the members paid money to throw water bombs and flower bombs and everything at us.
Hang on, he hasn't finished telling us about that one yet. Hold on, okay, thank you.
So at the end of it, we got very wet, covered in lots of talcum powder, but again, and everything else, flour the lot. It's brilliant fun, and it just brought all the guys together, and we raised some funds for the President's Charity that year.
And there was another picture there as well. Can we see the other one?
I think that was a group of guys from an area, and basically that's our national sporting weekend, and we have about 600 guys turn up in one place for a weekend, and we do inter sports, be it badminton, football, tug of war is one of the biggest competitions. Everyone's against each other area across the country, and it's an amazing weekend of fun, fellowship and sport. So we even do fitness stuff. And you're saying earlier about healthy and putting things back in. You know, we're all for being healthy as well, and that's a prime example of that.
Now, everyone looks pretty close, like from all the pictures that you brought on today. Everyone looks really close. So how easy is it for someone new to come in? Can anyone join or? Anyone
18 to 45 is the age, any male. Obviously there is an association for ladies.
I was going to ask about that. It's the men's society.
Do you want to see? We're not a men's society, no. There is Ladies Circle. They're a national organisation, exactly the same sister association with us. And as one of the pictures showed there, they actually join in some of our events as well. They run their own events, and we have the mix. And it's nice for the women just to be there and leave the blokes at home. So there's that crossover. But from that aspect, it's 18 to 45, Young Man's Association. It's open to anyone. Go onto our website, www.roundtable.co.uk. There's a form on there. There's information all about us and what we do and what the guys do in the country. And there's obviously, you can find where your nearest club is, and you can send an application form in, and we'll make contact with you and invite you along to a meeting.
And if there's no club close to you?
There's clubs, you might have to travel a little bit, but there is clubs, there's 500 clubs across the country.
Really?
So, there's plenty of clubs out there.
It's not just UK based, is it?
No, it's worldwide. There's 52 countries altogether. So yes, it's a big association.
So if you go from here, if you could say move abroad, you can just join one of the clubs there?
Yes, you can indeed, and a lot of people do that. Dubai, there's some guys there that run a table in Dubai. They come over from England. So it is literally, we're starting up a new one soon in Singapore.
Wow.
So yes,
do you ever visit
reaches.
The ones abroad?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, well, it's again, this is what tabling is. You can turn up in a foreign country, never been to before, look in the directory, phone up the table and say, I'm over with a weekend or a week, I've got my family, where's a good place to go? They'll turn up and show you where the best place is to go.
Nice.
And it's no different to me going up to Scotland and saying, hi, I'm in the area, when you're meeting, I'd like to come along and meet you guys. And you can walk into a room, you won't know anyone, but within 10, 15 minutes, you've got some friends, you've got potential mates there, and you'll have a lot of fun, and you'll leave with friends. And you do literally meet people, and they're your friends, even after 45 when you left table.
That's lovely.
It is, and it is a life-changing experience.
On a personal level for you, why do you think it's important to give back to the community, apart from obviously raising the funds and stuff like that? Why do you think people should get more involved?
Obviously nowadays in the communities, how it used to be a long time ago, it's difficult to bring people together. I think there's a lot of change in communities. But when I go out to places and you can see the communities that have had Round Table in, you can tell that community's been lucky to have Round Table as part of it. So for instance, in my town we do a carnival. It's been going since, coming up for 50 years. It's an 8-day weekend and it brings the community together. But it's every 3 years. But even though that's finished last year and we're now talking about the next one in 2014, you'll go out in town and people will still be talking about the carnival and bringing people together and everything. When you feel that and you get that experience, it's just like...
How do you feel when you've done
something
proud.
Around? Yeah. Feel happy, and you know that...
There you go. Giving to your community makes you happier. There's another benefit. It does, doesn't it?
It does. And, you know, I was on Sunday, yesterday, I was out with Santa. And just to see the young kids coming out, actually to see some of the parents coming out and smiling, let alone the kids, it's nice to see.
Yeah.
And again, you just get that warm feeling, and it's just like, I enjoy doing this.
Right.
And Santa's a busy man this time of year.
He needs all
and
the
there's
help
a lot
he
of
can get.
tablers out there. Hash help Santa, we're everywhere.
Okay. All right, let's just give, before you go, let's just give another fact about how giving to others helps us as well. This was a study done in America, actually, and they said the areas with the highest rates of volunteerism also had the lowest rates of heart disease. On the other hand, areas with fewer volunteers reported more people with heart problems. High volunteerism was strongly correlated with low levels of heart disease. Interesting fact, isn't it?
Gonna live longer.
Yeah, definitely. Jason, thank you so much. I think your organisation is great, and all the best with everything and all the fundraising and stuff that you guys are doing.
Brilliant.
Do you want to give a shout out to everyone up there?
Shout out to Round Table. Keep going, lads, you're doing the right things.
Oh, and ladies.
And Ladies Circle, obviously.
Yeah,
Never
Ladies
forget
Circle.
the ladies.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, so after the break, we're going to have our friends from the Nutmeg community joining us, and they're going to be telling us all about what they've been up to since the last time they've been on. And also later on, we're going to have Chris Brown. So join us after this break.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, where we're talking about how helping your community is not only good for the community, but also is very good for you. So before I introduce our next guest, let's just give you another fact about how it can help you as well. Now, this is a survey done by someone called Post, and he cites the Alcoholics Anonymous. He gives Alcoholics Anonymous as an example of how giving can help people overcome addictive behavior. He says people who fulfill the 12th step of the program, which is to help other people with alcoholism, have about a 40% recovery rate after a year. People who don't do that have about a 22% recovery rate. So there you go. There's another reason why you should also help your community. It's not just for them, but it's for you as well. So now I have the lovely guest from Nutmeg community. Hello. We have Darwin. Darwin and Lawrence. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now, Darwin, you've been on before.
Yes.
Right. So maybe actually you can explain what Nutmeg is, and then Lawrence can take it from there.
Nutmeg's a youth empowerment organisation based in the Bar of Barnet. We focus on helping young people see the benefits of getting involved in their community. This could be from workshops to volunteering to taking up any apprenticeships available, but at the same time empowering them to the point where they feel that they can actually go out themselves and get involved in something, or create their own organisation or create their own positive movement. And through time we've been able to work with many different organisations like the council and Barnet Homes and the Met Police that have actually helped us actually target the young people we need to keep them on a positive narrative and role models for the community.
Okay. And Lawrence, how have you been involved as well?
When it first started, Darwin asked me if I would just be the nominal granddad that was with them all, because it's mainly run by the guys. There's Darwin and his cousins that run the whole thing from start to finish, and I just kind of tagged along and helped where I was needed.
Is it just tagging along?
Yeah, just tagging along.
Yeah, I'm sure he does more.
No, Lawrence does a lot. Lawrence is sort of...
I knew it.
He keeps us in check, and it's always great to see cross-intergeneration working together, because you don't get a lot of that. So we feel that we know what we do is best, but yet when you have someone who's been through life and is more mature, more experienced, can actually guide us. And
so that's really nice, because there's a lot of young people that don't value like the older generation, and they think, oh, I've nothing to learn. I know what I'm doing already. I don't need to ask anyone's advice, But it's actually really nice that you have, you know, Lawrence involved, and you are.
It works well.
It's like having a father figure there, because some youths don't have that.
It works well. Yeah, we spend a lot of time sitting in the kitchen talking about some plans, and I might see some different perspective from Darwin, and then he goes off and does it. Really.
That's really nice. Now, I know Nutmeg started because of actually something that happened that was very tragic, wasn't it? Can you tell us briefly about that?
In 2006, a schoolboy from our local community was stabbed, and automatically it was the first time we've ever heard of knife crime in our community. It shocked the whole borough, and as a result, it's like, what can we do to prevent this from happening in our borough again? How can we sort of eliminate this? And the best way we thought to do was get involved in our community, speak to the younger generation from as young as year 7 upwards, and sort of get them involved in something to deter them away from knife and gun crime. So that essentially was the main focus, to really get young people away from this, knife and gun crime culture that was arising from 2006 onwards.
Okay, now I know last time you came on as well, you brought the Olympic torch, but you were a torch bearer.
Yes. Yeah.
So how was that? How did you get involved in that?
It was good. It's through the work we do with Nutmeg, and also Lawrence was an Olympic torch bearer as well. So we had 2 Nutmeggers who took part in the Olympics. It was really good.
It was great.
You must have been proud.
Well, I was very lucky with mine because I was selected to run in Wales, which meant that I ran at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And so I had my torch for a long time, so it meant that we could take it out to schools and clubs and show. And there's lots of photos.
How did people react to that?
Well, the reaction is always the same. Oh, I don't want a photo with that. Oh, well, can I just have one? I think between us, the torches, our torches have got about 6,000 or 7,000 photos taken with it, because lots of different groups.
We've got a few, haven't we? Last time we came on.
Exactly. There's literally thousands of them knocking about there. Yeah, it was a brilliant summer just to have the thing. It was wonderful.
That's really good. Yeah. So there's something that you're all involved with the Met Police, isn't there? But just do you want to tell us briefly about that, and then we can show the video as well?
Yeah, we're focusing on stop and search, which is a big thing in the Met, and especially with the Commissioner talking about finding smarter ways to tackle stop and search, rather than stopping every young person or every person in the street and sort of having this sort of negative impact with someone. So we thought, how can we look at stop and search and find a better way or alternative to actually allow that process to run more
And the Met were actually open to that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
The Commission actually came down and actually said, I'll take part in this, because it's something that he obviously wants to focus on. And you don't want more young people growing up in the community where they feel like the police are always targeting them. So if we can channel that from the beginning, then it will help them throughout their adulthood. So we did a little video, sort of a Will Smith and Mark Lawrence, Bad Boys of Comedy moments, as a little trailer, but there's a lot more to come to it.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Like great fun as well.
It was fun.
So that's just a trailer at the moment. What are you going to do after this?
Basically that part's because we did a little research in the community asking young people, what do you think of police officers? What do you think they do? And automatically they thought bad boys, the whole element of they play around, they don't really take their job seriously. So we thought, okay, let's focus on that. There's a part where we actually stop and search the gentleman at the end, and he's really tall, and we're all there looking up at him, trying to control him, and he's there looking down at us. So it's meant to bring a bit of comic to it, but at the same time, there's a serious topic where we have actual police officers who actually do a lot of stop and search, talking about their experiences. We have a lot of young people who actually talk about their experiences. And through there, one thing that we found that was common was respect. Was the main thing that each party kept saying. If you respect me, I'll respect you back. And communication as well was a big thing, because if you go in full guns blazing, then obviously the young person's going to react, well, why are you stopping me? Why are you doing this? And we just found that a lot of time it's having that normal ground level where you can just communicate with one another. So that's what the video focuses on. The commissioner's on it as well, and he has a little part to play in it. So really he really helped us out with it.
So it's just to use the police van here as well. That was handy.
They want that back.
They just give it back.
It builds on one of our earliest workshops, which was where we actually got some of the guys to put some police hats on, and some of the coppers to put on some hoodies and do a stop and search, but in reverse. And it was an eye-opener from both sides with the attitudes that they had and how they thought the other side had an attitude towards them. And it worked very well. Let's just do a little bit from there.
I'm so happy that the police were open to that. And
we've been very lucky. I mean, it started really from day one. The local police, the Safer Neighbourhood team in Edgware, were very, very open. In fact, they really did help start it going. And then from there, it's built up to the borough police, and now, of course, the Commissioner's involved.
Lawrence, what do you think, the problems that we're having nowadays with youth, what do you think that's down to?
I think that in every generation there's always a misunderstood youth. I mean, to be honest, in my generation it was me. So it moves along. Every young lad or young girl thinks that they know better, and every old fogey like me thinks we've seen it before. And at the end of the day, the problem is always going to be, I think, it's basically a lack of communication. And if people are willing to listen to what the other side is saying, as well as hear themselves, then it will work. And if they're not prepared to, then it won't.
Right, okay. I just love the fact that you guys are working together. I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
We've got, it's okay, so I think we've got a picture as well to show, because you've been involved in some things since the last time you met, haven't you?
Yeah, this was a picture of the urban games that took part in August on the Grand Park estate with Barnet Homes and Barnet Council. And it was just off the back of the Olympics, and just before, 2 days after the Paralympics began, the whole Olympic spirit was within the estate, and we just wanted to get involved. This was a news reporter.
They're rushing you along as well. Hang on.
This was a news reporter from the Barnet Press who took part.
A news reporter?
Yeah,
what's he doing?
Took part. He's actually running as well. He took part. He came, I think, 5th. Yeah, he came 5th.
So he looks like he's running on his own. Like, where's everyone?
He was at we had already finished our race. He was still running. Yeah,
he was 5th out of 5.
Yeah. But he did well. He did well. It just showed that even people from the Barnet Press can come down and actually take part, get involved in the community cohesion. So that's what it was really about, getting sports and community cohesion in.
But on a personal note, it was also a very humbling experience, because we bowled in as usual with our torches. Here we are with our torches. And a real-life Olympic athlete with medals turned up as well. And suddenly the torches are irrelevant.
Just hide those.
That's it. So for us, it was a bit humbling.
About who you met? Who was that?
Mohammed, who was an Olympic bronze medalist.
Wow.
So,
there you are.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. Is that we were no longer the centre point. So he was really good.
I'm sure you didn't mind sharing the limelight.
No, we didn't. No, it was good for him to come out as well. He got involved, took part in a lot of won all his races, which was a bit interesting. But no, he really came down and just really showed, you know what, even if I've done my Olympic part, I can still give back to my community, and just spent the whole afternoon with us.
Now you've met a couple of other celebs, haven't you, recently? Should we take a look at these pictures?
Oh yes. This was at the Pride of Britain Awards. It was a very humbling experience as well, because you hear so many stories about people, and I was actually able to meet Ellie, who is Olympic double gold medal, Paralympic double gold medal. Yeah. So it was really humbling to meet her, and she just took the time to speak to me and just say hello. She actually encouraged me to take part in swimming.
She did?
Yeah, so I'm actually taking part in
Did
swimming.
you do something?
Yeah, I'm doing swimming now at Copthall Stadium. Yeah.
Oh, great. And who else did you meet recently as well? Let's have a look. Let's see the picture. Here you go.
Oh, yeah, Jermaine, X Factor.
How did that come about?
He was there as well.
At the same event?
At the same event. I was telling him that I was supporting him, and then he goes, oh, I like your torch. I'm like, well, I like you. So let's cross and let's do something together. So he took a picture of me, and then he sang a little song as well. So really
people
good.
can't resist having a photo taken with the torch.
Well, it's good. And you're actually fundraising for something at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, we're fundraising for the charity, which we've been doing for a while. But we was actually surprised even more when a group of young people actually decided to fundraise on our behalf and take part in a charity initiative that got us £3,000 for our community.
Oh, wonderful.
And these are kids from the London Academy School in Edgware.
I've got this picture here, right?
Where we went to. So they took part in a young philanthropy initiative, and they pitched their idea sort of Dragon's Den style to a panel of people, and they came up on top, so we're really proud of them.
Back to Dragon's Den again, huh?
Yeah.
They get everywhere.
Because you just never know what your work is in the community and how young people are sort of taking your message, but then for them to research about Nutmeg, take part in all the sort of marketing for it, and actually win £3,000 for it, just shows that sometimes you never really see what you're doing until someone else.
But what was even more fantastic, of course, is that the team that came second was coming for us as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
what's your dream then for the young generation of the work that you're doing? What's your ultimate goal, would you say?
I think
but our ultimate goal would be that there would be no more knives on the streets. Yeah. That's what we're there for, and that people can get along better. It would be nice.
And how do you both feel helping your community in this way? Because I've been talking about the benefits of, to us as well, because obviously it helps the community a great deal. But how about for yourself personally?
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I know, it is tiring.
I'm so tired. It's great. You walk down the street and people say hi to you that you've never met, and then you realise that they were one of 550 guys that were at a gig a couple of weeks ago, and that they've got something out of it, and you get a big spark in your heart. It's great. It really is great.
How about you?
Yeah, I think this year kind of embedded the whole. I read this quote once that said, "There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer." So then seeing that through the Olympics, and then recently we attended the Spirit of London Awards, where there was over 5,000 young people, all who took part in volunteering in the community, just all coming out and really saying, do you know what? It's never about me. It's about what I can do for my community. It's about how I can get involved with my local police team, my local shops, how I can be involved with other young people my age, and how we together can truly embed the spirit of London. Yeah. So then through that, I just think getting involved in volunteering has life benefits, and as you said, you release stress, it keeps you living a lot longer.
I've got 12 facts here actually, so I'll get some more in before the end of the show, but it does really help.
It does.
Guys, thank you so much, all the best.
Thank you
with
very
all your
much.
endeavours and all your fundraising and everything, and it's great what you've done, I love it.
Thank you
very much.
Okay, thank you very much, and after the break we have our self-development clinic with Chris Brown, who's here to also help you guys out if you're going through any problems, or if you just need a little push in the right direction. Join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, and the title of the show is actually Loving Your Community is Good For You, because we've been highlighting throughout this show with our guests as well how helping others is actually helping yourself as well. And I'll just give you another fact before we show you a video as well. Giving makes you feel great no matter what you give. There is evidence which indicates that volunteering generates as much in the way of health benefits as diet and physical activity. However, any kind of giving will boost your wellness. Whether people are engaged formally in volunteer activities or just reporting generally high levels of giving in relationships, it really doesn't make any difference. So if you're a giving person, you're probably much happier. Well, before we talk to Chris Brown, as you can see here, we're in our self-development clinic. Let's show you another charity that's doing great work with youths.
Hi everyone, today we've been invited to go to Thorpe Park with a youth group called the VYG Victory Youth Group. Now they're a noisy bunch. This youth group is based all over England and we're going to have a really fun time, aren't we, Excel?
Oh yes we are, I'm looking forward to it.
So let's hear them make some noise!
We're laughing at someone else's demise.
The great thing about today is I'm going to spend time with my brothers and sisters from the VYG and we're going to have fun together. That's the most important thing.
Maybe a few people throwing up, but I'm with my VYG family, so I'm sure we're going to have a great time.
Can anyone join?
Anyone can join, between 14 to 25.
I'm over 25, is it okay to still come along?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh my gosh! So Romeo, you finally made it?
Yes.
So you ran all the way here, right?
No.
So we finally arrived at Thorpe Park. It's a gorgeous day. We're really lucky with the weather, aren't we?
Yeah.
Now we did come with around 300 young people and we've lost every single one of them. So we're going to go and find them and interview them and see what they're getting up to as well, and maybe catch a few of the rides ourselves. Barbara, you said you're not going to go on any rides?
Not those ones you can see from here because they're far too scary for me, but I will try one of them on soft gentle.
She says she's not going to get on any rides, but I'm going to make sure she does, and we're going to film it as well.
I don't.
So are you scared?
No, the scarier the better for me.
My heart was here, my body was there.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh. Look, I'm shaking.
If you're not a part of the VYG, you're missing out big time because it was a massive experience. It was great. Ain't that right, guys? Yes,
I was there. I was there.
It's brilliant.
Really was there.
Yeah.
How do you find doing the dancing and the singing? Does it make you sort of like enjoy the group more? What's your favourite part of the group?
My favourite part is just being with everyone and like showing what I've got basically, yeah.
I'm here with Pastor Miguel, that is the leader of this VYG youth group in the whole of the UK. So how do you manage to get such a large crowd of youth together, so friendly, so well behaved?
Well, whenever we are together, it's like a family. There's always something positive about us that bind us together.
Before coming to the VYG, I was a total failure. You know, I was just another youth selling drugs on the streets, no future ahead of me. You know, total complete failure, you know, totally depressed. Inside I was messed up, stressed and everything. But I can tell you that coming to the VYG changed my life. And today I can stand here with a genuine smile on my face because now I got a future, thanks to the VYG.
Tell us a bit more about the VYG, what do you do and how do you get them motivated?
It's a way to get young people to change their lives, right? Because most young people we see today, they have a lot of problems, a lot of issues, home, family problems, anger problems, abuse. And our message of appeal is to change their lives in a positive way.
And if people want to join the VYG, can anyone join? And how do they join if they want to?
Anyone from 14 to 23-year-old. I mean, sometimes 24, 25. And if you want to join us, you can just log on our website, which is victoryouthgroup.co.uk, or you can just email us info@victoryouthgroup.co.uk, or just join us in the brunch every Sunday 1:30.
VYG loves Chrissy B. 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 VYG loves Chrissy B.
Lovely bunch of people and very energetic too. So now we have Chris Brown with us.
Hi, Chrissy.
How are you?
I'm very well,
Apart
thanks.
from a croaky throat.
Your croaky voice today,
Sure,
you
you're
know.
going to manage today?
I'll manage today. I'll get through this. I'll get through this.
Okay, so what did you have to share with us
well,
today?
Today we were talking about, I know the whole topic was community, right? And I just thought it was brilliant. What was said before, I thought what Lawrence Durham was mentioning was great. And it goes along with what we're doing now. We're talking about community and making changes, but what we're looking at is the individuals. It takes an individual to actually make the change for the community to actually work. And doing exactly what they're doing is actually doing that, as it says. So what I'm going to run from is a few quotes at the end of the day. Now, there's one particular quote, which I'll stress if it'll just come up now, and it is, not everything that is faced can be changed. Okay, now that sounds like negative. It says, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Now, I wish I had written that, to be honest, because it wasn't me. That was written by James Baldwin. And if we broke it down, you think not everything that is faced can be changed. It's the way we actually look at things. We see automatically there's a problem there, and we see a mountain. So we see the mountain before we've actually seen the road that can actually go through. So we think, well, we're not really going to face that. We're not really going to take on the issues that are actually going on within this community or within ourselves. So we look at this mountain and think, well, I can't face that. But not until you actually face it are you actually going to see a change. And doing the work, as was mentioned earlier on, is actually doing that, facing up to it. And it makes a little bit of change, bit by bit by bit. So what you've got to do is ask yourself as well, what are you doing about it? It's all right to say, well, them over there or those people like that, but what are we actually doing about ourselves? So we've got to face that mountain.
It's very easy to leave the hard work to someone else, isn't it? But I think every single person is responsible for their community. We can all do something towards it.
Very much
Whether it's to support financially, donating to charities or something, or just supporting and volunteering, everyone can do something.
Because you get a lot of complaints about, well, we've seen a lot of youths all the time. It gets stereotyped sometimes, what's on there, the images that get printed in the media. I'm not saying they're all good, but I'm not saying they're all bad as well, because there's a few, but what's get publicised in the media, the negative and the positive.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of positive today. Excuse me. We've seen a lot of positive. My voice is just going. Right,
carry on until
come back, get back here.
Until it stops completely.
Right, we've seen a lot of positive today, and that's what we need to see more of. We need to generate more of that and do something about it.
Definitely.
Let's do things. If we have to donate. If we have to actually roll the sleeves up, get involved, we have to roll the sleeves up,
and
get
if
involved.
you see a problem, like you said, instead of complaining about it, do something about it. So like that stop and search thing. How many years have people been complaining about that and saying it's not fair, but at last someone's actually doing something about it.
Yeah, and the whole idea of two different groups meeting who have different perspectives of each other, I thought that was great. That was brilliant. So I totally support what they're doing. Nutmeg, I support what you're doing over there. Right? Okay, number 2 on there, take responsibility. Now, we just spoke about it, you just mentioned just a while ago. Now, taking responsibility goes a lot bigger than that. We're talking about being a part of it. Being a part of it. Take responsibility. When I say take responsibility, what about you? Because, as I said, we complain about others, but what about you? Are you actually doing something about it? Are you contributing? Everybody's got a talent, one way or another. Even those who think, no, I can't do this, I'm no good at this, I'm no good. You'll be surprised if you search deeper. You've got a talent inside of you, which you can actually manifest to actually help others and put something back in there. So, number 2 is take responsibility. Stop shirking the blame somewhere else and stop thinking you can't do anything about it. Okay. All right. So number 3. This is one of my ones now.
You wrote a quote.
Okay. Life is not the way it is. It's the way you see it. Yep.
Right.
Life is not the way it is, the way you see it. So if we were to ask and we would say, well, what is the vision of life? How do you look at things around? Sometimes people come outside, first thing they say to you about the weather. Right, how bad the weather is. It's how you see it at the end of the day. You're walking hand in hand in love with someone at the same time. Do you see the rain pouring down? No, you don't, do you? So it's what you vision at the time, at the present moment. So life is the way it is, right? But it's the way you see it. So you've got to change your mindset in how you actually view a lot of situations, a lot of circumstances around you into a more positive mindset, as in finding a way through it. What can I do about it at the end of the day? So let's move away from life is just, oh, it's just like this. Oh, it's Monday morning again. Oh, I've got to face it. Oh, the news again, this, that. And let's move away from that. And let's see, all right, what's the answer instead? What can I do about this? How can I contribute? How can I be an asset to the situation instead? And turn this around?
Like you said, Chris, sometimes I don't think there's a lot of people that don't actually believe in themselves.
Right.
It's like they do complain and they do moan, but they don't actually think that they are capable of making any significant change. But you can.
Yes.
One person with one idea, even just if it's an idea that you have, that they can change so many things. And if you get, you get the right support around you, people that can help you, people that share that same vision as you can go a hell of a long way. Yeah.
Yes, you can. And you just had the right support around you as well. And that comes back to the whole thing, which I'm always talking about, is communicating. Communicating with different people, different levels, wherever you are, communicate to people. You just don't know how much you've got to bring to this. Don't always look at it as like, oh, they were up there, I can't communicate. Yeah. What have you got to actually bring to this? Okay, so here's a really interesting one, number 4. A bend in the road sorry, let's start again. A bend in the road is not an end of the road. Okay?
A bend in the road
is not an end. Road is not the end of the road. That's interesting. It's like, rolling the valves and everything, right?
That's what you can't say.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you fail to turn. Right, here we go. A bend in the road is not an end of the road unless you fail to turn. And sometimes we plot things in a certain direction. They don't always go the way you want them to. And your vision is just there. Straight lines, no deviations. Rough bits come in between. There's going to be a little curve now and then. If you're not flexible enough within that, you're actually going to go off the road. You're going to have to be a bit flexible. Now, let's talk about being flexible in many ways. You're in your community. You've got the neighbours around. Okay, all right, so there's somebody across the road and you've got a little dispute. It might be next door neighbour or whatnot. But that bend in the road might be that little bit being flexible. We got to give and take. We got to give and take. It's not all about you all the time, because it takes that one person to make that community, as I said before. So it's not all about you. It is about you. Still got to have that self-respect and respect others, but it's not all about you. Sometimes we have to give in a bit to make things happen and see both sides. You know. Yep. So
don't complain so much if your neighbour parks in your parking space and causes a big argument, and then you have a grudge for the rest of the year. And then you have to make up at Christmas because you need to give each other presents. Just be nice to one another.
Wouldn't want to open it up. No. Right. So that bend in the road one is one that really sticks at the end of the day. Okay, come to last one, number 5. Be a servant to your community. Be a servant to your community. Going back to what I said before, it's not all about you at the same time. The more you give is the more you're going to receive. Much to that quote we actually read on there earlier on. Because the more you give, be a servant to your community. The more you give, the more you're going to receive. But you're not giving to receive. Let's put it that way. But let's put it this way. You're not losing by giving. You're not losing by being that servant in your community to serve instead others to do right.
It comes back to you, Chrissy.
It comes back to you one way or another. You don't have to think, oh, well, I'm giving this, I'm giving that, and there's no more left and all that. You've got something to give, contribute it. Be a servant to your community.
Great message behind that. Thanks very much, Chris.
Thank you.
You'll be with us again next time.
Next week.
Yes, next week. Okay, then. So we have reached the end of our programme today. I think it's been a great one. You know, I'd like to thank again all my guests that came on. I think it's great what they're all doing. And, you know, if you want to get involved and you want more information about our guests tonight, you can visit the website chrissybshow.tv. Wednesday's programme is all about faraway Christmas. So if you're separated from your loved ones this Christmas for some reason, you'll be getting lots of help and advice so you don't have a depressed Christmas this year. So we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.